Hi everyone, it's me Lindsay with EquipMeOT here today to talk about sleep positioning with carpal tunnel. So this is a really common issue. If you have carpal tunnel, whether it's mild or moderate or severe, sleep tends to be a time when it acts up and becomes really uncomfortable. It can really disrupt your sleep, which is unfortunate because sleep helps with the healing process. So let's talk about a few ways that you can really maximize your comfort and prevent additional issues with carpal tunnel. And this can be somebody who's recovering from carpal tunnel surgery or somebody just living with the carpal tunnel issues. So let's talk about some non-bracing pre-sleep things you can do. So there's some ways that you can prepare yourself to sleep that can be really helpful in making you comfortable. One of them is icing. So carpal tunnel often involves some inflammation of the wrist area and some pain associated with that. So using some gentle icing, not submerging into an ice bath or anything really significant because that can cause discomfort in its own right, but something gentle like a cold compress applied to the wrist area prior to sleep for 10 to 20 minutes can really make a difference in reducing inflammation, especially when combined with a medication like a Tylenol or an ibuprofen or an Advil that can also help with that inflammation reduction. And if you start off your sleep schedule with that type of inflammation management, that can kind of carry you through the night with improved comfort. So always start off considering how you can reduce your inflammation before you even attempt to go to bed. Another thing you can do is apply a little bit of compression. Now, it's really important to note that we don't like a lot of compression squeezing down on that tender wrist area. So I have a glove here, and this one is a nice gentle compression glove, and it's really good to kind of keep that joint warm. So I know it's kind of counterintuitive as I was just talking about using cold to reduce inflammation, but this can be really helpful in keeping things feeling comfortable throughout the remainder of the night. So this is a nice glove, fingerless. You can go full finger, you can even go slightly shorter finger. The goal is just to provide some gentle compression across the hand and wrist area. And for some folks, this is enough to really reduce the discomfort and help them sleep more comfortably. One important note about compression, if you're wearing something that goes up farther on the arm, or if you deal with a lot of swelling, I don't recommend sleeping with compression on. In those situations, you want to use your compression during the day and remove it when you sleep at night, as we do not want to develop any sort of pinch or wrinkle in the compression sleeve that can cause blistering or skin issues. So this is for really situations where you don't have a lot of swelling present, just to manage the discomfort. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how I would set up the bed itself. I recommend having at least 2 pillows on hand. You're going to want 2 pillows because one of the pillows is going to be used to support the arm. And that's really important because one of the issues with carpal tunnel at night is that we tend to sleep kind of curled up, especially if we're on our side, kind of in a fetal position where that wrist tends to be bent or it tends to be compressed underneath our body. So having a second pillow can help kind of address that. So let's talk about bracing. Bracing is a really solid option at night, and it can prevent a lot of issues and bring a lot of comfort, but the key is selecting the right brace. This one by Vive is an overnight brace. It comes with a lot of padding. It's breathable, it's neoprene, so it's easily cleaned. This one has a ton of cushion in it. Let me show you how it goes on. It's just 2 simple Velcro straps, just like that. Good Velcro, I will add. And it has this very significant padding that runs the entire length of it from the wrist down to the fingertips. So kind of like having your hand wrapped into a pillow. So my thumb goes through, my hand is in a really comfortable resting position, nothing too dramatic, nothing extremely tight or rigid. It does have a rigid piece running here to prevent my wrist from bending, because bent wrist is the problem. If you sleep with a bent wrist, that's going to give you a lot more discomfort. So this is going to prevent that. The other nice thing about this is if you're somebody who moves a lot in their sleep, if you knock yourself with it at any point, you're not going to hurt yourself. So this isn't a rigid brace. This is a very soft brace, 100% designed to sleep in. So again, this one's by Vive. I'll have links down below if you have any questions or curiosity about where to get these. So let's talk about how then I would lay down in bed with my brace so that I could be comfortable and sleep through the night. So let's talk about the best positions to sleep in with carpal tunnel. So this is a little complicated because it's going to be partially dependent on your preference for sleeping. Whether you're a back sleeper or a side sleeper or even a stomach sleeper, The big consideration is keeping that wrist and hand as straight as possible, which this brace is going to do a lot of the work for you, but a little bit of extra positioning with a pillow is a really good idea. So let's start with side sleeping. That's the way I sleep, and it's the way a lot of people sleep, so hopefully I can show you a way to get comfortable that way. So I've got my head pillow here, something good and supportive that I am comfortable sleeping with, that keeps my body in decent alignment, and then I've got my secondary pillow here so I can lay down on my side. And if you're able to get your carpal tunnel side elevated a little bit, whether that's with the pillow like this, that's going to help as well, because one of the other times that you see some discomfort develop is during positions where your arm is hanging. If that arm is really low, you can get some swelling in there, and that swelling really compresses those nerves and can cause a lot of numbness and tingling and aching down into your fingers and wrist. So if you can get your arm elevated, and you can even fold the pillow, and that's another great way to even get that arm elevated even just a little bit more, like that, and that's going to get you a little bit higher up, and it really can help keep that swelling down and keep those fingers more comfortable. So I've got this like this. If my arm is above it, you can also lay on the side. So if I had this, and I'm going to switch it to the other side real quick, and the nice thing about this brace is I can do that, is if I'm sleeping on my left shoulder, if this is my preferred sleeping position, and this is my side that has carpal tunnel, I can sleep like this. But what I would do is place the pillow over top of it so that I'm not smashing it. So just to put a little bit of pressure here, just to keep the pillow over it like that. So that's another option if you're sleeping on the side that has carpal tunnel. Now this is not the recommended position. I still prefer to see the arm elevated, but you do have your options. Let's roll on to our backs for a second. This is probably the best way to sleep with carpal tunnel, because it's going to allow you to have your arm, the whole arm, fully straight. So shoulder, elbow, everything kind of in that straight position all the way down to the fingertips. That is optimal. That's going to give you the best position for all those nerves to be nicely aligned. So I can sleep like this, but not everybody can. So another way you can sleep on your back that might be more comfortable or more familiar is, again, using the pillow and really placing it up on your body kind of at an angle, kind of across your torso. And I'm not completely straight, but now I've got that elevation piece. So now I'm pushing that fluid out, so I'm going to prevent any swelling. This is a really common position for folks with carpal tunnel that really can help and be comfortable. So there you have it, a couple of ways to stay comfortable and to help you sleep with carpal tunnel. I hope you found this beneficial. If you need more information like this, consider subscribing to EquipMeOT. Thank you.